What damages does drought have on our planet? Why do we need to stay resilient, and what are ways we can help our planet survive droughts? As Malcolm Turnbull said, we learn from every natural disaster. Whether it's a fire or flood, we learn from it so we can respond to the next one better. My name is Sinadi Peiris, and today I'm going to talk to you about drought resilience. Did you know that the longest drought in history was on October 10th in 1903 and ended on January 1st, 1918 in Arica, Chile? That's about 14 years. Imagine living through that. Droughts are terrible for our Earth. Last year, East Africa was facing its worst drought that they had in 40 years, affecting 40 million people. Ways that droughts damage our land is by drying, which can cause wildfires, food shortages, plants to die, animals to leave or die because of no water. And all these things affect us too, because food shortages means a limited amount of food and lots of hungry people. And with no animals, especially bees and birds, to pollinate the crops and plants, is another thing that leads to food shortages. And because it hasn't rained, there's also a limited water supply, which only makes it worse. Most droughts are caused by climate change. Droughts that affect us immediately are the ones that we notice and try to survive through, while long-term droughts are less noticeable and can have a longer impact on the Earth. We are at the edge of the future, so how can we help? Did you know that every year 55 million people are being affected by droughts? Imagine living through a drought, but not doing anything to make things easier to survive through the next one. That's where drought resilience comes in. Drought resilience is the term. How can we survive when there's a water shortage? We need to be resilient against droughts, finding ways to make things easier for us and the animals that live in the area. This includes finding ways to save water and food and trying to keep the animals in their homes too. Here are some more ways we can be resilient against droughts. One way that helps the earth a lot during a drought is to use mulch. Mulch keeps the soil moist for longer and is a good resource to use during a drought. Mulch also gives the soil nutrients, which the soil needs to stay moist. Foods that are best to grow during a drought are Armenian cucumbers, beans, squash, zucchini, wheat, cowpeas, and more. All these foods are best to grow during a drought because they have more water in them, unlike normal vegetables, so they can survive longer without a lot of water. Things that businesses can do to help drought resilience is rainwater harvesting, smart irrigation practices, such as using water sensors that only use water when needed, and recycling water plants. Another way to be smart against droughts is to have water efficiency. We can do little things around our house that means we can save more water. Thanks to drought resilience in El Salvador, many people have been able to grow corn, beans, and tomatoes to help feed their families during the drought. If we are to achieve the United Nations Development Goal of curing world-free hunger by 2030, then we need to know more ideas like these to help sustain us and our future. Drought resilience is so important to our planet and us. It is also important to the future generations so that they know a little more about how to survive during a drought.